Hello again and welcome to GPA Distance Learning. Our lesson for today is all about hands-on area and distributive property. Before we are going to start, if I will say class, you will say yes. Class, 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 class. Now that's great. Now let's move here to our big question. How are the operations of addition and multiplication used when finding area using the distributive property? Now let's move to our vocabulary words. When you say area, it is the number of square units needed to cover a figure without overlapping. Again, this is a number of square units. Now let's move to the second one, decompose. When you say decompose, it means when we break apart a number. So here, the third one is distributive property. Can be used to model the area of a rectangle and allows us to decompose one factor. So again, here in distributive property, we can decompose a factor or a number. Remember, what is the meaning of a decompose? Decompose means to break apart a number. Now, let's have a review with our previous lesson. I have here a figure, and then we are going to find the area of the rectangle. Now, remember how to get the area of the rectangle? You're going to multiply the length and the width, or else we are going to count the square units. Now, here, we have here the length of 6 units, the width, 5 units. Now, here are the choices. Now, what do you think is the answer here? Yes, the answer is 30 square units. Why? If we are going to multiply the length, which is 6 units, to 5 units, the answer is 30 square units. So the area of this rectangle is 30 square units. The grid shows a rectangle with a length of 6 units and a width of 5 units. Again, this is the longest side, so this is our length. This is our shortest side, so this is our width. Now, the area of the rectangle is blank square units. So what do you think is the area of this rectangle? Yes, the area of this rectangle is 30. If we are going to multiply 6 to 5, the answer is 30. Now, we are going to label this rectangle as A. Now, here is the problem. If the length of this rectangle increased by 2 units, what would be the new area? Now, let's find the new area of the rectangle. First, we are going to shade more unit squares so that the length of the rectangle is now increased by 2 units. So we have here the figure. This is our rectangle A. So we are going to add 2 units in our length. So since this is our length, we are going to add 2 units. But the width remains unchanged. So we will not do anything here in our width, only here in our length. Now let's move here to the second one. We are going to label the additional rectangle formed by what you shaded as rectangle B. So here, this is our first figure. We label it as rectangle A. Now, we added 2 units. Now, this is now our rectangle B. Now, what is the area of the rectangle B? So, we are going to find here what is the unit squares. 2 units. There are 2 units. Here, on this side, 5 units. So, if you are going to multiply 2 to 5, 2 multiplied by 5, the answer is 10 square units. So, the area of rectangle B is 10 square units. Now, third one, we are going to add the areas of rectangles A and B. How are we going to do that? So here, we are going to find or to get the length first in our rectangle A. So this is 6 units. So if we are going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, only until here because this is our rectangle A. So 6 units. And then here in our width, we have 5 units. So we are going to write like this. 6 multiplied by 5, or here, 6 multiplied by 5. And then we are done with our rectangle A. Let's move to our rectangle B. We have here 2 units, and then here on this side, we have 5 units. So we are going to multiply both. So 2 multiplied by 5. So here, we are going to get the answer. 6 multiplied by 5, it is equivalent to 30. Now, we are going to put here the addition sign. And then here, 2 multiplied by 5, the answer is 10. Now, we are going to add them both. So, if we are going to add them both, the answer is 40. So, the area of the larger rectangle is 40 square units. Now, let's check if our answer is correct. Now here, the length of the larger rectangle is 8 units. If we are going to add all of the square units here in our length, we are going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 units in our length. So here, in our width, if we are going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have 5 units. Now remember, our answer is 40 square units. We are going to check if that is correct. So remember, if we are going to get the area of the rectangle, we are going to multiply the length and the width. So we are going to multiply 8 to 5. So length times width, or 8 times 5, the answer is 40 square units. So our answer is correct. Now remember, we can use the distributive property to find the area of the rectangle. Now first, we can decompose one factor. When you say decompose, we are going to break apart a number. So how are we going to decompose? We are going to find where is the biggest number. So I have here 2 numbers. So here, our length, 12 units. Here, our width, 7 units. Which is bigger, 12 or 7? Yes, 12. So we are going to decompose or break apart 12. So here, I have here 12. How are we going to decompose? So we are going to use 10 and 2. So we just break apart the number, but then if we are going to add them both, the answer is 12. We are done already decomposing one factor. We decomposed already 12 into 10 and 2. Now, we are going to find the area of each smaller rectangle, then we are going to add. I have here these numbers. 7 multiplied by 12. 7 is our width, and then 12 is our length. So we added 10 into 2. That's why we have 12. Now, since 12 is the biggest number, it's so hard to get the answer 7 multiplied by 12. That is the reason why we decompose 12. Now, we are going to use these 2 numbers here. So 7 multiplied by 10 from here. And then we are going to put here the addition sign. And then here, 7 multiplied by 2. So if you have noticed, we use already the 2 numbers. And then 7 is our width. This is the smallest number. So here, we are going to get the answer. 7 multiplied by 10, the answer is 70. We are going to put the addition sign. So 7 multiplied by 2, the answer is 14. So if you are going to add them both, the answer is 84. So the area of the rectangle is 84 square units. Now, remember, we can use the distributive property to find the area of rectangles with greater side lengths more easily. And then, we can find the area of a rectangle by decomposing it into 2 rectangles and then adding the areas of the parts. So don't forget that we can use distributive property to get the area of the rectangle. Now, let's move to our quick review. We are going to use distributive property to find the area of the rectangle. Now, I want you to get your copybook and help me find the area of all these figures here. This is our first figure. We have here 7 units, our length, and 6 units in our width. Again, we are going to use distributive property to get the area of this figure. I will give you 10 seconds to answer. If you have your copybook with you now, timer starts now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. What is your answer? Now, we are going to check if your answer is correct. Again, we are going to use distributive property to get the area of this figure. Now, here, 6 multiplied by 7. So, 6 multiplied by 7. Now, since 7 is the biggest number, we are going to decompose this one. So, we are going to use 5 and 2. So, if you are going to add 5 and 2, the answer is 7. Now, 6 multiplied by 5, the answer is 30. Now, 6 multiplied by 2, the answer is 12. Now, if you are going to add them both, the answer is 42. So, the area is 42 square units. Now, let's move to the second figure. Again, we are going to use distributive property to get the area of this figure. I will give you 10 seconds to answer. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Now let's check if your answer is correct. Again, we are going to find where is the biggest number and then we are going to decompose. Now here, 8 multiplied by 12. 8 multiplied by 12. So 12 is our biggest number. We are going to decompose this one. So 10 and 2. So 8 multiplied by 10, the answer is 80. 8 multiplied by 2, the answer is 16. If we are going to add them both, the answer is 96. So the area is 96 square units. Now let's move to this figure. Again, we are going to use distributive property to get the area of this figure. I will give you 10 seconds to answer. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Let's check if your answer is correct. Again, we are going to find the biggest number. The biggest number here is 9, so we are going to decompose 9. So 5 multiplied by 9. So here 9 is our biggest number. We are going to decompose. We are going to use 5 and 4. So if you're going to add 5 and 4, the answer is 9. So 5 multiplied by 5, the answer is 25. 5 multiplied by 4, the answer is 20. So the answer is 45 square units. Now that ends our lesson for today. Thank you and have a good day.